the back. Oh yes. Would you guys just look at that? We took a little road trip yesterday. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody's having a great, wonderful start to the beginning of this week. So yesterday we took a little road trip in the wife wagon. We stole it from her and we went down to see our buddy John Muldoon to pick up our new transmission for the rebirth of the 05. So big key ingredient of the transmission and the transfer case, got that taken care of. John went through it all, built us a big nasty unit and went through the transfer case and got that all situated, got it all ironed out, and it is now ready to handle some big abuse. So always awesome, great going down to see John. Love those guys down there. They are A+. Just, I can't say enough good things about John. You've heard me talking about him before. Any transmission needs that you guys need, go see him, Newcastle, Delaware. He'd be more than happy to help you guys out, spend some time with you, and spec you out your own custom, awesome transmission. So the only thing, the biggest last piece that we are waiting for is our new engine from Freedom Racing Engines. All we're gonna be waiting for is a call from our man John at Freedom Racing Engines, letting us know that the new new engine for the 05 is done, and we will be bringing out our core out of the original Silver Beast, the Silver Bullet. We're gonna be taking the original core engine out of that, bringing that up there and picking up our new heart. So we are just waiting on that, and then we will be ready to start ripping on the Project 05 over here. Yesterday we did that. We got back kind of late. Overnight I actually kind of feel like I'm getting sick again, which really kind of stinks. But anyway, besides that point, another random quick point. I've seen a couple comments about Allie, the baby, the birth, the whole thing there. How's that going? It's actually going very well. Thank you guys for asking. Honestly, very blessed and thankful. Have not had really a single issue or hiccup. She's feeling great. Baby's doing great. We are definitely in like 3/4 of the way through. So April is when the baby is due. So again, thank you guys for asking about that. But I've seen that. Just want to throw that in there randomly. I've seen that a little bit. But anyway, on to the topic of today's video. You guys have heard me mention in the past, if you guys have been following along for a little while, ever since we swapped the Dana 80 disc rear end in the first gen, I've kind of been a little unhappy with the way the truck has been looking. It looks a little too wide in the back. It looks a little looks a little too narrow in the front. It's a little too raked in the back for me. So we are going to be kind of re-going through that, maybe trying to come up with a little bit of a different look for the look of the first gen going forward. So what that includes, the first step of the process, is a set of Moog 7226S coils. You can actually pick them up relatively cheap. If I don't already, I'll have the link down in the description. Get them off on Amazon Prime, of course, and you can pick yourself up a set. So that is supposed to raise the front end up just a little bit. I'm hoping that we just lift the back end up a little bit and get that a little bit more level with the rear of the truck, and then we'll work on the wheels, tires, and width situation that we are running into. So that's what we're going to be doing today. First step that we have to do is basically jack the front of the truck up and get some jack stands underneath the frame, let the suspension kind of drop out. We got to pull the shocks, and basically it's a little bit more involved than I actually originally had anticipated. Third gen, swapping some coils out is really not that big of a deal. This stuff, because of the brake setup in the truck, you do have to take apart quite a bit, control arms, seeing that it's two-wheel drive as well. So what we're starting with now, if you guys don't already know, is a 93 two-wheel drive. It's got quite a bit of miles on it, so I'm assuming that these are factory springs that have just sagged. So we're going to be seeing if we can lift that up a little bit and get that a little bit more level. The rear, as of right now, the rear is actually dropped a little bit, so we're lower than the factory suspension in the rear already. We're not going to go any lower than what it is now, but we're going to see if we can raise the front. These coils are actually also supposed to help the ride. They're supposed to be a softer, more Cadillac type ride. So anyway, let's dive right in and let's see what we can come up with. Looks like our starting measurement points from ground to wheel well is 32 in the front and about 33 and a half in the back. So about 1.5 inches difference as of now. Alrighty guys, once you got your lug nuts knocked off and your wheel out of the way, then it's time to dive in here. So the steps that we did, I don't know in the specific order if these were the correct ones, but here's what we did. We undid our 2 caliper bolts right here, got those out of the way. I believe those were 9/16, that gets your caliper out of the way. We then took the rotor off, undid our dust seal here, undid the cap that holds them on, pulled that rotor completely off, and then you can see the very, very bare of the knuckle. Now we did that to clearance the lower control arm swinging out of the way. As you can see, as it sits in here, you can see it sits inside of this rotor dish. So we got that stuff pulled out of the way. We then disconnected our tie rod, which I'm not sure if we needed to or not, so we got that out of the way. And then our radius arm right here, we undid those 2 bolts right here, the nuts underneath here. Got rid of those, and then actually should back up. We first undid our shock out of there, which is the nut up top here and the 2 bolts on the bottom. Then the shock kind of pulls out through the bottom, so we undid those. Then we proceeded with the rest of pretty much getting everything disassembled from the entire lower control arm here so we can get that knocked out. So then what we did is we started in on our lower ball joint, and after whacking and prying, we finally grabbed the pickle fork and we just slammed her home and popped that loose. And that is kind of what you can see on this side. Once that lower ball joint comes out from the knuckle area right here, that is now separated, and it still has a little bit of tension on it from being attached there to the frame, but you can pull your spring out then. Now here is our original spring. You can kind of see the top spacer here is looking like it has seen better days, has some holes in it. Doesn't play a huge important role, but if we're in here, I'm never the one to leave anything alone. Now, the other issue that did arise is everything looked good. We do have a torn boot up here on the ball joint. The ball joints are actually tight. We've checked them before, but we did manage to, with the pickle fork, end up, there is a tin cap with a dust seal, which is basically right here. You can kind of see it basically slides over top of that. Let's flip it over here. You can kind of see that's what sits on top of your ball joint, and that little tin shield here kind of press fits right over top of that, and that's what keeps the grease and everything else in there. Now, that did get a little messed up to the point where I don't feel comfortable reusing it. So right now we're at the dilemma where we do need the tin cap and dust seal. I'm not sure if you can get them separate from the ball joint, or if we should just suck it up and do ball joints on this thing as well, which don't really quite want to do, I will be honest with you guys. But let me know in the comments what you guys would do. Just get the dust seal or replace ball joints that may not really need to be done. Like I said, they are tight, they are not really all that loose. We still do need to, I'm gonna try and jump online, try and get this stuff ordered up, but here's what the bare assembly looks like. Let's throw this coil right next to the new one and see the kind of height difference that we're looking at. All right, so if you set them kind of level here, kind of spin them so it looks like they are maybe about 1 inch difference. They are sitting just a little bit different here, but you can see that they are, depending on how you look at it, about an inch difference in height. So this side still obviously needs to get torn apart, see how well that other ball joint pops out of that lower control arm. I did spend quite a bit of time trying to knock that loose without messing up the ball joint, but the pickle fork was the only way I could get it out. I tried multiple different options, but pickle fork ultimately got it done. guys, we got this side 99% done after whacking the pickle fork a couple times, twice into my hand, which maybe you can tell, maybe you can't. It's not doing so hot. I whacked it pretty hard, and I really I hate to end the video like this. I hate to sound like a you-know-what, like a little biatch, but on top of feeling worse by the minute and slamming my hand twice, I'm pretty much done tonight. I'm pretty much done. We actually got to be up for work earlier than normal, super early tomorrow. So we need to get home. I honestly need to not go to work tomorrow, but we're gonna go to work tomorrow. So we'll get this video done. I appreciate it. I know you guys are probably thinking like, Greg, when are you gonna stop taking stuff apart and drive it and use it? We'll get there one day, I promise. But for now, we'll just keep fixing stuff. But I promise we will get stuff back together, use it. The wintertime, you know, the roads, we got snow last night and the roads are just blasted. I hate driving stuff when it's like that, you know, but anyway, you guys get what I'm saying. We'll be back. I love you guys. Thank you. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you have not already. I will see you guys tomorrow. See ya.